I teach teens and adults. Today we're going to be discussing expressways. This is Module 5. And if you find this of value in the end, subscribe, leave comments. These are actual test questions that I put together as a state certified instructor. So I'm going to give you guys a treat and we're going to go over this together. So I want you to enjoy this. All right, let's go over this first module. Let's go over this first module right now. This first module, select all characteristics of an expressway. Expressways have high speed. Expressways have multiple lanes. The middle lane is the smoothest lane. It's a controlled access. There's a ramp that you take to go on. And also, they're designed to carry lots of traffic. So as a driver, you want to be in the middle lane, you want to take your time, and you want to be patient. Let's look at the next question. Okay, these are just robots right now playing. Expressways have a high collision rate. So we're going to look at this. And the correct answer is false. Expressways do not have high collision rates. Expressways are one of the safest methods to travel. So as a beginning driver, you need to really understand about expressways. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. I've been having some problems with my audio. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, please, and thank you. So we're talking about expressways. There are a lot of cars on there. There are a lot of trucks on there. What I need you guys to do as beginning drivers is be careful. Stay in the middle lane, right? If you're going to be in the fast lane, you have to go faster. No pun intended, okay? I would stay in the middle two lanes. They seem to be the smoothest. Let's go to the next. And again, I just have it set up to play against robots. We're going to go to the next question. It says select all that are expressway safety design features. Okay? Expressways have crash barrels. If your car goes off the road, you can hit a barrel. It's full of sand. It's full of water. Also, there are rumble strips. If you can hear me, let me know. They're also full of rumble strips. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up and let me know. So again, expressways, they have barrels that if you have a collision, you're going to hit a barrel, and that will take some of the impact away. Also, there are rumble strips. They're little waves in the road. They'll alert you if you're going off the road. Let's go to the next one. And again, I made these. I'm a state certified instructor, and I teach in the Midwest. Let's go to the next question. Odd number interstates run. The expressway interstate system is based on odd or even numbers. Odd numbers run north-south. Okay? Odd numbers. 7 is the odd number. 6 is an even number. So you need to remember this. The interstate system uses a numbering system. Okay? It's not around the city. It's not far east. It's not into the city. So as a driver, you need to have your GPS set. Many cars have computers now that can help you. Let's go to the next question. Even numbered interstates run. Go ahead, take a moment, put your answer in. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, this is the even numbering system. Even runs east and west. In America, our interstate highway system, I-75, 696, 94, 290. I was in Houston a couple of weeks ago. You need to know the number. Okay, let's go to the next. And if you like this type of format, let me know. A lane that serves as an entrance lane to an expressway is called. I put all these questions together. This is what I use to test prep my class. A lane that serves as an entrance lane and exit lane is called a weave lane. It's not a merge lane. That's where you merge out. It's only for merging. It's not a shared left turn lane. You see those on the streets. It's not a mess, but it's actually a weave lane. Cars are going off the expressway. Cars are going on. If we're driving, you're either going to go over the top or underneath the car. A lot of beginning drivers hesitate. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. These are totally customizable. Let's go to the next question. What type of interstate is this? So we're looking at this picture. And this is what I use to teach students. Some exchanges have clovers, not the leaf, the clover, but an actual clover. So clover leaves are very difficult. You've got to go slow to get on. You've got to go slow to get off. It's not a diamond shaped. It's not a trumpet. It's not a frontage road, a clover leaf. So you need to remember it by the shape of a clover. You could have this on your state test, road test, or your knowledge test. If you're enjoying this type of information, give it a thumbs up. Let me know the audio is good. Let's go to the next question. What type of interstate is this? Look at how it looks. This is a diamond shaped. It's not a clover. This is clover has 4 parts. It's not a frontage. It's not a trumpet. That was a diamond shaped. Please remember that. That's a diamond shaped. Let's go to the next. What type of interchange is this? Look at the shape. Time's up. This is a trumpet. It looks just like a trumpet. It's got a very long road and then it curves. Okay, a very long road then curves. So we know it's not a clover leaf because the clover has 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know it's not a diamond because diamond goes off. This is a trumpet, a long road with a curve. What type of interchange is this? Take a look at that. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, please, and thank you. All right, let's look at this. That one was a frontage road. Weave lane, you have 2 lanes crossing. One person getting off, one person getting on. It's not a clover because there are 4 parts. It's not a diamond because that goes off to one side. So a frontage, kind of shaped like that. Let's go to the next. This interchange runs. Take a moment and look at that number. 55. The key thing you want to look at is 5 an even number or odd number. 5 is an odd number. 4 is even. 3 is odd. 2 is even. So Route 55 runs north and south. Let's look at this next one. This interstate runs Interstate 10. Put your answer in. This runs east and west. Odd is north-south. How are you doing, Bad Bunny? Hello, can you hear me? Let's keep looking at this. So, 10 is even, runs east-west. Odd, 10 is an even number. 8 is an even number. 6 is an even number. 4 is an even number. 2 is an even number. Odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This interstate runs, look at the number. This interstate runs into the city. There's some interstates that will go strictly into the city. So you need to understand what that is. I was on 290 a couple of days ago in Houston, Texas. That goes straight into Houston. So you need to know what this is. And again, I made all these as a state certified instructor. I'll put this together. Interstate 465, Indiana. This goes around the city. Let's go to the next. A group of drivers are traveling together at high speed. This is called a wolf pack. This is when you have a large group of drivers traveling at a very high rate. I'm going to take you to a different part. If you like that information, give it a thumbs up. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. I'm going to now talk about some of the information on the state examination. So if you have questions, go ahead and put those in. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults, I teach teens how to drive. I'm a certified instructor in the Midwest. This is automobiles. Thank you, North Branch. Appreciate you. So let's talk about the skills test. What do you need? You must provide a vehicle that is in safe working order. Headlights work, tail lights work, windshield is not cracked. You got to have proof of insurance. You have to have the correct vehicle registration that is updated. The examiner will look at the vehicle, check the windshield, check the headlights, tail lights. So you as a driver got to make sure that those things are correct. So you're good, meaning your car can pass and then you can drive. So let's continue. Any designated representative must be authorized in writing. So if your parent is working, your parent or guardian can say, hey, your uncle, he's over 21. Your auntie, she's over 25. They can be that designated guardian for you. Let's say your parents are busy. So if you want to go and get, Dad, you're in California, Mom, you're in the office all day. Can auntie or uncle, can they go to my road test? They can write a letter and authorize it, okay? Let's talk about some of the things that will terminate the test. Cracked windshield, non-functioning blinkers, safety equipment, you got brakes, a center light mirror. This is on vehicles 1986 and up. Center light brake mirror, I should say. Fuel levels, you need at least a half a tank of gas. Your horn needs to work to alert other drivers. So they might say, honk the horn. Your rear mirrors, your driver's side and passenger side mirror need to be on the vehicle. Your tires need to be properly inflated and not damaged. Your lug nuts, all lug nuts need to be on there. Your turn signals, your front and rear. Some testers are very particular. So you don't know if you're going to have a really tough tester, easy tester, chill tester. I say, and I tell all my clients, be prepared just in case your tester's very strict. Okay? So you're good. Make sure your car is clean, vacuumed out, smelling good. You got a little shirt on, looking nice. Nice crispy haircut, because people do look at how you dress and how you act. Your windshield wipers should be functional. Let's continue. This is bringing you value. Give it a thumbs up. The driver and passenger doors must work from the inside and outside. We all have a cousin or auntie or uncle that is ghetto fabulous, and they have a coat hanger holding the door together. Okay, I've been there before, but also I've learned from those decisions. The examiner may refuse to administer the test if the windshield is cracked. Advanced safety features. Driving skills tests need to understand which? The passive active device. Examples may include backup camera, blind spot indicator, lane departure, passive devices that allow the vehicle to aid in the test. So these equipments do aid because cars are smarter today. When used for the test purposes, the driver education vehicle must not display any warning signs for training. So if you're using a driver's education car for your road test, the sign needs to be off the top. Some cars have magnets for the signs. Those can be taken off. Automatic failures. Let's talk about this. Disregard instructions or refusing to perform a maneuver. Let's say I'm your tester. I need you to make a left turn. You panic. You go past the intersection. You can't make a left. This is on the route. I'll tell you, I need you to make a left turn. You refuse. That could be grounds for termination. Next, repeated failure to follow instructions. So you need to be able to listen. I don't think English is a barrier, but the world is multicultural today. If you don't speak English, you can probably have an interpreter because we have a multicultural world. So English should not be a barrier. If you don't understand the instructions the first time, the examiner will reread the instructions without penalty. So if you're not sure, a good examiner will reread the instructions. Refusal to wear a safety belt unless you have a physical condition. Maybe you had stomach surgery or you had some type of other surgery, but your seatbelt should work. You should always be wearing your seatbelt, period. Any accident may result in failure. You cut off a car, you hit the curb, automatic failure. Traffic violations or hazardous actions, not limited to accidents that is prevented by others. Examiner prevents crash. Example, running a red light, driving over the curb or sidewalk or endangering others. I gave you an example. The driver creates a hazardous situations. I have some questions. If I drive 5 under, 7 under, that could put you into a dangerous driver situation. You're too slow for the traffic. You fail to yield for adverse traffic or pedestrians. Pedestrians always have the right of way. If a pedestrian is walking on the side of the road and there's no sidewalk, they should be walking towards you. If a bicyclist is riding on the side of the road, they should be going with the flow of the traffic. When you're making a right turn, you need to check to your right and look. Pedestrians, bicyclists are walking and riding their bike. If you fail to look, you could run them over. That's called a right hook. Okay? Right hook. Because you don't look and then you hit them. Obviously, it would be an emergency situation. You would fail your test. We would have to call the police, ambulance. Look, if you're making a left turn, it's called the left cross. Coming up to the middle intersection, I want you to make a left. You should turn your head, look at oncoming traffic, and look to your left. You're looking for people coming from left to right or right to left. If you don't look, the left cross, you could hit someone. You could hit a pedestrian. And you should always turn in the nearest lane. If you just joined, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I'm going over some of the information you need to pass your test. I went over information to help you understand the Expressway system. I switched up the format, so you gotta let me know. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. So you don't want to create a hazardous condition. What does this mean? If the speed limit is 50, you need to be about 50. If you don't feel comfortable going 50, you need to get 47, 48, 45 and under, you might be holding up traffic. And if I was the examiner, I would really watch you very carefully. Are you nervous? You can't get your speed up? What is going on? Let's talk about traffic violations in which the driver fails to yield for a funeral procession. Always yield for funeral processions. They always have the right of way. Passes a stopped school bus with red lights flashing. Automatic failure. Not only is it failure, but it's dangerous because you could run over a child. Next, fails to take proper action when encountering a stationary or moving emergency vehicle or stationary service vehicle. What does this mean? You need to allow space. Every community is different. Slow down, cover your brake, yield. Give them room. Turns left or right at a red light when prohibited by law. That's the quickest way that I've seen beginners fail. If you're really listening right now, you need to be listening. Right-hand turn on red. You have to stop. S-T-O-P. I should see you looking left to check traffic. I should see you look right. I should see you look left. And then we're making a right turn. I should see you turning the wheel. And based on the National Safety Highway Transportation System, hand over hand is fine for making right turns. It is fine for reversing into a parking lot. I have questions on that. So we want to quote a reliable source. And also, 7 and 5 is a preferred method to hold the steering wheel based on AAA. So whatever national organization is in your community, that's what you follow. Next, take left and right turns on red, prohibited by law. You really got to watch the traffic arrow, the pavement markings, to know when it's your turn to make and execute your turn. If the arrow is yellow, you need to make a decision. If you're already in the intersection, you proceed when clear and have caution, because you may have pedestrians from your left. This is my left, this is my right, that you can't see. So if you don't look, you just cut off a pedestrian. Failure. You just cut off a bike. Left cross. So you really got to look. Next, passes improperly. If your car has to leave the pavement and cross the white edge line, that's an illegal pass. If there is an extended pavement, you can, let's continue. Drives on the wrong side of a one-way, automatic failure. Next, fails to stop for a railroad signal or drives around railroad gates, automatic failure. Speeds 10 or more over the limit. A lot of beginning drivers or nervous drivers will start speeding. You might get one warning. That will be automatic failure. Follows another vehicle too closely. You get one warning. Everyone is different. Every tester is different. Because you will be nervous, your tester will be following what is on the test. And if they see you hesitating, then you will be marked down. Dangerous, inexperienced drivers. For a lot of you, you fall into this category. and I want to talk about this. You must obtain a passing score and finish the driving skills test without committing an automatic failure. In addition, an examiner may terminate the test if you exhibit any behavior that demonstrates you may be dangerous, inexperienced. For example, the test will terminate, and you need to listen, the test will terminate if you can't maintain the posted speed limit. If the speed limit is 55 and you're driving 40, termination. The more than 10 under the regulated speed limit, 1 warning, unless traffic or weather conditions warrant slow driving. When operating a manual, a lot of you drive manuals. I drive a manual too. If you drive a manual, drop a thumbs up. You are unable to shift the gear properly. When driving an automatic transmission, you're unable to determine the proper gear. That is important. Stalling the vehicle, resulting in a hazardous action or obstructing traffic. Your car stalls out. You're making a right turn. It stalls out. You're in the wrong gear. You're making a left turn. You hit the wrong gear, the car stalls. Clutch control, minus. Also a dangerous maneuver because left turns are the most dangerous. Loss of control of the vehicle. You come too fast around the curve. You lose control. You will be marked down. And it could result in failure if your car goes off the road to the left or right. Crossing that white line to the right, called the edge line, crossing the left line, which is a double yellow. The driving skills test always includes a vehicle component for familiarization and safety inspection, if not scored, and 2 scored test segments. Each segment must be passed in sequence. I'm reading this to you because I'm a state certified driving instructor. I'm giving you the information you need to be successful. Each segment must be passed in sequence. A failure of any part terminates the test. What does this mean? On sequential attempts, you must start over from the beginning. Vehicle registration, proof of insurance, half a tank of gas. You will be allowed 1 attempt in 24 hours. I've had questions. What if I fail my test? You need to wait 24 hours. A good tester will go over what you missed. Unless the failure is due to faulty equipment or documentation. The test segment must always be given in the following order: vehicle familiarization, horn, windshield, brake lights, tail lights, registration, muffler. Basic controls. Do you know how to parallel park? Can you stall park? Can you park downhill, pull up your park brake, turn the wheels all the way to the right, so in case the car rolls out of gear, the front of the car will roll into the curb. Parking uphill, you turn the wheels all the way to the left, the car will roll backwards if it comes out of gear and you pull up your park brake. These are some of the general questions I get. On-road driving test. You will go through neighborhoods, subdivisions, residential areas. You'll go on and off the expressway. So it's really important that you prep and you prepare. Let's talk about the basic skills test. The basic vehicle control skills test consists of a series of off-road exercises. Scoring will be based on the following standards. Please listen to this. Encroachment. You are penalized each time your vehicle touches an excise boundary, meaning a white line, a yellow line. Each encroachment carries an error. You'll get a minus. Repositioning. Let's pretend you're parking, but you keep turning the wheel and turning the wheel. You'll get a minus for that. You will be penalized each time you reposition the vehicle to correct your path. What does this mean? You're pulling in a driveway. you're all the way to the right. You're going to sideswipe your parent's car. You keep turning the wheel. Or you're all the way to the left. You're on the grass. You keep repositioning the wheel. So you need to pull into your parking spot straight. If you're angle parking, you need to split the spot in half and drive up into the spot, then put it in park. If you're parallel parking, you want to pull up to the vehicle, turn on your flashers, back, turn your wheel all the way to the right. The rear of the car will go into the right. The front will swing out to the left. Once you're halfway, turn the wheel back. You should be no further than 12 inches or less away from the curb. I looked up the standard in the Midwest. It does vary a little bit, but it's 12 inches. If you're past 12 inches, you could receive a ticket. For example, a backing maneuver, a repositioning point is assessed each time you adjust your vehicle's forward position. Likewise, in a forward maneuver, a reposition is assessed a point. So you need to know how to park. You need to work on your maneuverability. How do you do this? What's going on? It is, but that is state law. You can look it up and just Google in your area, what is the minimum distance I need to be away from the curb? It's about 12 inches. Let's continue. Likewise, forward maneuvers. A repositioning point is assessed each time you reposition. Each reposition will count as an error. So some of you won't be able to park, and then you won't get to the road test, right? You won't get to the road test. So you got to really work on parking, stall parking, angle parking, parallel parking, 3-point turns around. That's why I always advocate driving in your neighborhood, okay? Being able to make good maneuvers. Thank you. Final position. The examiner will, let's turn on, the examiner will assess your vehicle's final position. They will walk around and see if your car is sideways, on the right, on the left. 1 second. So you as a driver have to know what you're doing. When you come there to take your road test, you can't play. You should be able to back in, parallel park, angle park, stall park, 3-point turnarounds with little to no help and not relying on the backup camera. You got to be able to do this. I've always talked about being independent. Driving doesn't make you an adult. It helps. Good instructors are patient. I'm very patient. Good instructors are nice. They don't yell at you. So when you're learning, you need to really talk to your instructor. What do I need to work on? You need to work on your speed control. You're too slow. Your lane positioning. So these are some of the things I show you. At the end of the basic control skills exercise, the examiner will add your total accumulative points. To pass this segment and continue to the on-road, you must complete the basic skills with 6 errors or less. So again, if you can't parallel park, that's up to 4 points. If you go past a stop line, that's another point. If you can't reverse into the blind spot park, that's another deduction. So a lot of clients don't even get on the road. Let's talk about this information. I'm giving you real value today. The first one is the stop line. If the front of your car is past this line, that is a deduction. Are you guys listening? Next, you need to be able to reverse your car into this coned off area. If your car's on the line, that's a deduction. If the rear of your car is past this line, that is the deduction. That should be really clear. And I'm really giving you real life perspective because I want you to pass your test. This spot is the curved path backing, just like backing into your driveway. You have to be able to do this maneuver. Let's talk about parallel parking. This is what fails most students. You have to be able to reverse your car into a parallel parking spot. You need to be able to cut it at a 45 angle. Let's talk about this. Curved back blind parallel park. You will drive by the entrance of a parking spot located on the passenger side. So you're going to line your car up on a cone. You're going to reverse back at a 45 angle. Okay? You're going to reverse back at a 45 angle. You have a boundary layer. If your car touches the line, a minus. You should be able to get your car in with the minimal amount of turns. You must try to finish the exercise. Your vehicle should be positioned completely within the backed space. When backing, try to perform the maneuver without touching or crossing over the boundary lines. Remember I talked about the boundary lines? Your car should not be on this line. Your car should not be on this line. Your car should definitely not be on this line. This is valuable information. You need to be listening right now. Next, on the road test. You're going to be going on the road. You must demonstrate your ability to drive safe. We always talk about safe driving. Over a predetermined route. The testers have a route they're going to take you on. There are 3 to 5 different routes. I'm giving you inside information. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. The route will contain a various traffic situations, including city, residential, and expressway driving. If you don't feel comfortable performing those maneuvers, you won't pass. At all times during the driving test, you must operate your vehicle in a safe and responsible manner, obeying all traffic laws. You can't run a light. You got to stay at the speed limit. You have to use your blinker. You should be turning properly. You should be able to make a left turn. The examiner will observe and score you on specific maneuvers. I'm giving you real information. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach in the Midwest. You must obey all traffic laws. You are expected to drive straight ahead unless the instructor tells you to perform a maneuver, meaning a right turn, a left turn. The examiner will give you directions. I need you to make a right turn at the next light. Okay? If you're in the left lane, you turn on your right blinker, mirror, turn signal. Blind spot, you look over your shoulder, you get over. So the examiner will try to give you directions as far ahead as possible. We are human. We make mistakes. And won't ask you to do anything else illegal or unsafe. Let's talk about the test requirements. Although every driving test route may not be identical, each route will contain similar maneuvers. What does this mean? You're going to be making left turns, varying degrees of difficulty, easy, middle, and hard. You're going to make right turns that are easy, middle, and hard at intersections involving stopping and driving straight through. Remember, intersections are the most dangerous place. Intersections that involve straight driving without stopping. Expressway or rural highway, lane changes required. You need to be able to merge out, blinker, mirror, turn signal, look over your shoulder. If you don't, you will be deducted points. You need to be able to drive in urban and residential areas. Lane changes are required. They're going to ask you a secret question. Collision avoidance, simulated head-on collision. If you want more information about that, you need to give it a thumbs up. Curves, you will be driving on curves. You need to reduce your speed. Go into the curve slow and look where you're going. If you go over the line, it's a deduction in points. Railroad crossing, actual or simulated. You've got to look left, right, left before going over the railroad tracks. If not, you will be deducted. This varies from location to location. To obtain a passing score, you need to listen. You cannot accumulate more than 25 points or receive an automatic failure. So what is a good passing score? 5, 7, 10. If you get over 25 points, automatic failure. You have to made a lot of mistakes. If this brought you value, give it a thumbs up, share. I'll be going live later today. Bye.